Hello, hello. Welcome to this evening's Tuck In and Chill. It's been a while. It always feels like it's been a long time between episodes because we only do it once every other week. And usually I do it at 11 p.m. And I think over the summer I decided to put it at 10 p.m. But once again, I've had a few troubles with my computer stalling, freezing, and having to reboot it. And it's frozen in a way that I can't even close programs. I'm so sorry about my neighbors. They insist on revving their engines until the winter forces them to put their fancy cars in a garage somewhere. We haven't been in this bedroom for a little while, and I just felt like wearing silk. And while the roses are still in bloom, don't forget to deadhead them. You'll be able to get blooms right through the first November frost if you take care of them right now. And I just love them. So I am right now smelling the beautiful smell of rose petals, feeling the silk on my skin in my cushy bedroom, where I like it to be dark and a little bit warm. And I love my cherry wood stained furniture too, for that matter. So welcome back in. I have a little treat for you. I've decided once again I'm going to be reading something a little bit creepy, a little bit eerie, a little bit sad for our Tuck In and Chill evening to entertain you. And it is a work in the public domain, The Haunted Oak by Paul Laurence Dunbar. He lived between 1872 and 1906. It's a fun little poem. It's exciting and it's creepy, again kind of sad. It will kind of stick out with you, and it makes an innocent little game with children, the hangman, seem maybe a bit inappropriate. It is an interesting story, and I think this poem used to be sung. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use soft voice this evening. And unlike some of the public domain poems that I've been reading to you guys, there's no repetition. But it is kind of rhythmic, so fun to listen to. So I hope you are feeling cozy and ready to tuck in. Get into your most comfy position, sitting or laying back, eyes open to watch my screen, or close them if you're more comfortable with that, and just let it be my voice to your ears. Now make sure you're hydrated. I hope that you're taking care of yourself. I'm currently raising my glass to drink a toast to all of you out there, all my listeners, all my dear subscribers. Thank you for being there with me. And I drink to your health and mine. Chin chin. A sloppy drinker. Just for today. Now before I get underway, let me just make sure I can see the message area. The last time, Ryan, are you there? How are you this evening? I can see you. My week has been super busy, but I am happy to say, despite not being able to use a swimming pool for the past 3 weeks, I have lost more weight. So I've really been on my feet a lot. I hope you're still there, Ryan, because it took me a couple of minutes to open up my messenger. The last 2 times I've been online, for some reason it has said my messenger area has been disabled, and I don't know why. Again, just a bunch of glitches, so I keep rebooting my computer. So Ryan, I hope you're still there. I hope your week has been wonderful, and I'm about ready to switch the view from my little cozy bedroom here to a story that Ryan, I think you might actually like. So I don't know if you're finishing up some homework over there before you go out on the town this evening. Just in case, let me help you relax, because I think I might be, maybe, your favorite white noise these days. So let me switch the view. I won't be able to chat until I get this story done. Hi, Ryan. All right, if you are comfy, I'm going to aim this just for you. So here's my cup. It is raspberry flavored water this evening. I like crushing my juices. And I drink a toast to you. Get comfy now, because I'm going to keep you entertained for the next few minutes. All right, here we go. Now, of the images you're going to see here, Ryan, are me interacting with a deep AI program. Oh, how not charming at all. I'm so sorry. Here we go. The Haunted Oak by Paul Laurence Dunbar. That's your ASMR for this evening. I'm chewing some ice cubes. 1 second. Pray, why are you so bare? So bare, oh bough of the old oak tree. And why, when I go through the shade you throw, runs a shudder over me? My leaves were green as the best I trove, and sap ran free in my veins, but I saw in the moonlight dim and weird a guiltless victim's pains. I bent me down to hear his sigh, I shook with his gurgling moan, and I trembled sore when they rode away and left him here alone. They charged him with the old crime and set him fast in jail. Why does the dog howl all night long? Why does the night wind wail? He prayed his prayer and he swore his oath, and he raised his hand to the sky, but the best of hoofs smote in his ear, and that steady tread drew nigh. Who is it rides by night, over the moonlit road? And what is the spur that keeps the pace? What is the galling goad? And now they beat at the prison door. Ho, keeper, do not stay. We're friends of him who you hold within, and we fain would take him away from those who would ride fast on our heels with mind to do him wrong. They have no care for his innocence, and the rope they bear is long. They fooled the jailer with their lying words, and they fooled the man with lies. The bolts unbar, the locks are drawn, and the great door open flies. And now they've taken him from the jail, and hard and fast they ride, and the leader laughs low down in his throat as they halt my trunk beside. Oh, the judge, he wore a mask of black, and the doctor one of white, and the minister with his oldest son was curiously beside. Oh, foolish man, why weep you now? 'Tis but a little space, and the time will come when these shall dread the memory of your face. I feel the rope against my bark, and the weight of him in my grain. I feel in those throe of his final woe, and the touch of my own last pain. and nevermore shall leaves come forth on the bough that bears the ban. I am burned with dread, I am dried, I'm dead, from the curse of a guiltless man. And ever the judge rides by, and goes to hunt the deer, and even another rides his soul in the guise of a mortal fear. And ever the man he rides me hard, and never a night he stays, for I feel his curse as a haunted bow on the trunk of a haunted tree. What say you, Ryan Catan? Was that eerie enough for you this evening? I found it a very sad but fascinating story, actually. And I have another if you would like. Or we can chat. It is tuck in and chill. And this seems like a good kind of night. I'm so sorry about the background noise. Even with my doors closed and locked, sometimes it just all gets in. So, if you've not already fallen asleep, I promise that I'll tell ghost stories. And I'm trying to think of a ghost story. Oh, I'm so glad you really liked it. Yeah, I used an AI program to make the backgrounds for that, and I'm kind of liking the black and white style as well, especially with Halloween coming up. Yeah. Encore, okay. I don't have a background made for this. I was creating backgrounds for some of these things. I don't have one for this made yet. There's a silly one here, but I think there are some of these that I'm waiting to like rewrite. Okay, this is just kind of a sad one. What are you in the mood for? There's a really tiny one called At a Lunar Eclipse, and right now we've got a supermoon out there. The House of Ghosts. I think I'm actually creating something for this right now. There's some things I recorded. Okay. Are you in the mood for haunted houses? I don't have a background for this, but let me see if I can come up with something for you. I do think I can generate something right now, so hang in there, Ryan. Let me see here. The first thing I come up with, I'll use. So I'm just gonna set us a background. It will be just one background. Alright, you can hear how fast I type. Alright, here. Ryan, I'm also going to start posting stuff called TGV. Alright, it's kind of a weird picture, but it's not really spooky. I'm going to try one more. Hang on. Oh, it's trying to sell me stuff. 1 second here. Oh no, I should have stayed with the first one. Alright. Okay, hang on, I've got an idea here. If you know Escher, I'm just going to see if I can find something from an artist. It's just weird. It's just something weird. It's not really ghostly, but I think, yeah. Okay, I found something. It's really weird. But I think for what I'm trying to do, Maybe it's enough. Alright, here we go. I'm going to read something called Haunted Houses. I'm just going to shift. What am I going to do here? Image. Whoops. Okay. Oh, hang on. I'm almost done. So basically, you're getting ready with me, which supposedly is a trend out there. Alright, here we go. This is something from Escher, and the story is going to be called Haunted Houses. Let me just get this in big. Throwing up slideshow mode. Okay, here we go. It's weird. So, I'm switching the view one more time to get you in the mood. Alright, this is for you, Ryan. And we're gonna do taking you out of my bedroom into this wacky stairwell. Haunted Houses by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow from 1807 to 1882. And this is what he had to tell us. All houses wherein men have lived and died are haunted houses. Through the open doors, the harmless phantoms in their errands glide, with feet that make no sound upon the floors. We meet them at the doorway, on the stair, along the passage they come and go, impalpable impressions on the air, a sense of something moving to and fro. There are more guests at table than the hosts invited. The illuminated hall is thronged with quiet, inoffensive ghosts, as silent as the picture on the wall. The stranger at my fireside cannot see the forms that I see, nor hear the sounds I hear, but he perceives what is, while unto me all that has been is visible and clear. We have no title deeds to house or lands. Owners and occupants of earlier dates, from graves forgotten, stretch their dusty hands, and hold in mortmain still their old estates. The spirit world around this world of sense floats like an atmosphere, and everywhere wafts through these earthly mists and vapors dense a vital breath of more ethereal air. Our little lives are kept in equipoise, but opposite attractions and desires, the struggle of the instinct that enjoys, and the more noble instinct that aspires. These perturbations, this perpetual jar of earthly wants and aspirations high, come from the influence of an unseen star, an undiscovered planet in our sky. And as the moon from some dark gate of cloud throws o'er the sea a floating bridge of light, across whose trembling planks our fancies crowd into the realm of mystery and night, so from the world of spirits there descends a bridge of light connecting it with this, o'er whose unsteady floor that sways and bends wander our thoughts above the dark abyss. The end. How are you feeling out there, viewers? Welcome in, everyone who's just popped by. And let me bring you out of my wacky stairwell and back into my pretty eye. Here we go. That's my rhyming for this evening. All done. Greetings, Hero Flame. How are you tonight? Ryan's here with us as well. And I've just told two kind of eerie poems from about 200 years ago. They're still very interesting too. And the sound you're hearing is me just recording which things I read, so that I don't redo it. I'm doing really well. Oh, thank you. This is my silk gown, and because roses are still in bloom and the first frost hasn't hit yet, I'm deadheading all of my flowers outside right now to have the beautiful smell of rose petals. And I thought I'd bring one inside to cheer me up today because I love the scent of flowers. And so do ghosts, because apparently they can still smell things too. Or so I'm told in the world of Warcraft about the undead. And I've been reading to Ryan today in my soft voice. I wasn't quite ready to whisper, but I think I did good tonight. Okay, and that noise you're hearing is just me recording that I recorded this. But what do you guys want to talk about? I am really trying to set the mood when I read now. I'm trying to get a little more savvy about my presentation. I didn't feel like wearing all black today. As much as I love goth, I felt like very female today. So I wanted to wear my rosy gold tones this evening. I wanted to wear something silky. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for that. I'm going to work on my voice. I want to keep you guys entertained. I love it. Do you guys want to hear one more? I'm working through some of the short ones right now, but it gives us a chance to talk in between, which I really like. Are you guys drinking hot beverages this evening, or are you having water like me? Thank you so much. Well, welcome in. Guys, tuck in and let's chill. I can do one more. Let me see here. I'm just playing around with, apparently it's a thing where I can get ready in front of you guys, and it's called Get Ready With Me. So we're going to do that tonight. I want to entertain. So let me see what other thing out here I can do. Oh, let me see here. You may also have noticed that I'm trying something new, which is really weird, but I know French and I know Italian, and I've been a teacher of both in the past, so I'm actually deciding that when I make videos to help someone study, I'm going to be posting them in a new playlist. Ooh, green tea, very soothing. Hero, what are you drinking right now? I want to join in with everybody. Alright, let's see. I've collected a few here. What have I not produced yet? Okay, I did this one. Okay, some of them are a bit too fancy. Some of them are a bit too silly. I want to pick something that's just right. Some of these I'm going to rewrite. Okay. There's just a tiny little 2-verse poem here. Ooh, mint. Are you guys both having hot drinks? I should make some tea. I am still drinking my raspberry flavored water because I love it. I've got one ice cube left. Whoops, I just ate it. Okay. Okay, and I'm just gonna, okay. So, and some of them I was already making, but I haven't finished the backgrounds for, so I don't want to read those. Give me 1 second, I'm just searching. Oh, I already did these. Okay. Well, I don't want to play something that just has a voice and not thing. Okay, let me see here. I'm sorry to keep you guys waiting. All right. Ooh, okay, I found something here. And I'm not quite sure what kind of background to give you for this one. This one's different. Okay, I think I know what I'm looking for. So, I'm not going to be able to give you like more than one picture just because I didn't prep this in advance, but I found something here. I'll just use a picture to help you visualize. This actually looks like it's real footage from something, but I'm gonna just borrow it. Yeah, okay, thank you for your patience. I'm just gonna borrow an image to help you visualize something, but it's weird. I'm not gonna play the footage. In my head, I envision a better view than this, but I'm going to pick 2 pictures and then I'm going to get started. So this is you guys letting me get ready with you. So, no. Just putting in one more slide here. And, okay. What does that mean? Are you falling asleep on me, Ryan? Oh. Hang on. Oh, thank you. All right. I have this vision in my head, so I will maybe remake some of these with the backgrounds as standalone videos, but I won't do it right away. Oh, I just found an anime that's very naughty, and I wasn't looking for that. But, okay, I found something here. Alright. Okay, this isn't the best. I just shaped it together, but okay, here we go. This is just for the sake of being able to help envision what I'm going to describe. There will be 2 visuals only, and they both suck. But I'll make it sound as good as I can. Here we go. So, I keep getting too close to the camera. This is called Haunted, and I'm going to switch the screen again. Here we go. So we're leaving my bedroom and we're heading out, I guess, into my haunted backyard. So let's take a look at this. We'll just pretend this is on my house camera. Footage for my backyard. Here we go. Enjoy your hot beverages, everybody. Haunted by Siegfried Sassoon from 1886 to 1967. How interesting. This is from a collection of poems from 1918 called The Old Huntsman and Other Poems. It's kind of creepy. He was actually mostly a war poet So he's seen a lot of horrific things in real life, and this poem kind of reflects that. And if I were to describe it, it would be like Evil Dead meets World War I. So I hope you'll feel the suspense and the terror in this. It is a poem called Haunted. Evening was in the wood, luring with storm. A time of drought had sucked the weedy pool and baked the channels. Birds had done with song. Thirst was a dream of fountains and the moon, or willow music blown across the water, leisurely sliding on by weir and mill. Uneasy was the man who wandered, brooding, his face a little whiter than the dusk. A drone of sultry wings flickered in his head. The end of sunset burning through the boughs died in a smear of red. Exhausted hours, cumbered, and ugly sorrows hemmed him in. He thought, somewhere there's thunder. As he strove to shake off dread, he dared not look behind him, but stood, the sweat of horror on his face. He blundered down a path, trampling on thistles, in sudden race to leave the ghostly trees, and soon I'll be in open fields, he thought, and half remembered starlight on the meadows, scent of mown grass, and voices of tired men fading along the field paths, home and sleep and cool swept upland spaces, whispering leaves, and far off the long churning nightjar's note. But something in the wood trying to daunt him. It led him confused in circles through the thicket. He was forgetting his old wretched folly, and freedom was his need. His throat was choking. Barbed brambles gripped and clawed him round his legs, and he floundered over snags and hidden stumps, mumbling, I will get out of here. I must get out. Butting and thrusting up the baffling gloom, pausing to listen in a space twixt thorns, he peers around with peering, frantic eyes. An evil creature in the twilight looping, flapping blindly in his face, beating it off. He screeched in terror, and straightway something clambered heavily from an oak and dropped, bent doubled, to shamble at him, zigzag, squat, and bestial. Headlong he changes down the wood and falls, with roaring brain, agony, the snapped spark, and blots of green and purple in his eyes. Then the slow fingers groping on his neck, and at his heart the strangling clasp of death. And that's that. Alright, everyone. I want you to be safe and sound at home. Don't go wandering in the middle of the night without a whole posse of people. And all your gear. Alright. So I'm going to bring you out of my backyard, my creepy, creepy backyard. We'll bring you back into my bedroom. Yes, this is a much, much lovelier view. So, tuck in and chill. We've had 3. Usually you only get 2 to 3 stories from me. Sometimes I do show you my sleep aid videos and such. I haven't produced any recently. I've been collecting creepy poems and getting ready for Riddle Me This. We're going to head to Italy on Tuesday night for snack night because my meetings were switched around. So I gave live shows for Tuesday every night in September, and we're going to open up October with a pre-recorded show in Italia. And they will be wonderful, very quick things to make that will be tasty and come from one of my countries of origin. So, I have to think about maybe getting some ghost stories from other countries. That might be fun. Do you guys want to talk about anything this evening, or are you just getting cozy? So tell me, Ryan, am I the white noise to your accounting classes tonight? Are you getting your homework done, or are you going to go out later? Or am I helping you fall asleep? A good night's sleep before the weekend begins. I know for me I have to check out the pool because I know it's finally reopened and I really need to go swimming. Because of all of the terrible storms that are happening, unfortunately for the people down south, we're getting an exceptionally extended summer and it's been beautiful up here. So I'm going to make use of that tomorrow, get out into the fresh air. And I have so much work to do for this new job. It's really hard to balance the two. But I don't want to give up on making my videos. I guess I'm doing less of the short spots for Celebrate the Day, and I'm working more on actual shows. I still have something for Brave Immortal Souls that I wrote out at least a month ago, and I still haven't produced it, so I will be working on that. Next week we'll have a guild meeting, and I'll update everybody. I seem to keep getting somebody joining our group, and we have 120 people, and then a day later they seem to leave again, so I don't know what's up with that. I'm hoping we'll get a little more notice soon. This weekend I'm also keeping an eye out for that new group, the Femme Gamers. I'm going to try to see if they have any live feeds. One of their ladies in charge there said they could help me be a VTuber presence in their talks there, so maybe that will get us some more notice. In the meantime, since you guys are being so quiet, I have one super tiny poem that I don't think I'm going to create an independent clip for, but I can share it right now in case I am helping you to fall asleep right now. It's called At a Lunar Eclipse. Let me see if I can find something for that. I think I certainly can. I know that Mixkit's got something about full moons. Oh, I'm so happy for you. That's really great. Ooh, and we've got a name now, too. Well, don't forget, if you do hit it off with her, tell her about me. Let's recruit her. Thank you for the compliment. I'm really glad that's working out for you. I think now I have to do a little spot about coffee and how it helps us bridge talking to people. Coffee runs. Miracle worker. I don't work with anybody who's single. Unfortunately, I'm in a field where it's all women and children. Or men that already married someone they met in teacher's college. I met guys that went to teacher's college just to have their pick of a girl because they knew the odds were in their favor. But I was never that girl. And I lived in a lot of places where there was no one my age. I lived in all the lonely places where grandparents were raising children, grandchildren. Because in a lot of places that I've lived, I have like 50 to 150 people. It's really, really small places. So it's really nothing to do but your job. I'm very sad about that. I think I'm actually going through a grieving process about that. Now that I finally have a permanent contract on a road where you can get to a hospital or a pool or a movie theater, and then all the men are married or gay. I don't know how to meet people. It's all women and children. I should have been like one of those ambulance people who carried a stretcher when I was a kid. I think there's a lot of guys in that field. I'm sad. I did life backwards, I guess. I don't know. Oh, I think I found. Oh no, I didn't. Let's go back. I'm gonna find one more picture here. Images. A lunar eclipse would mean that we can't see the moon, right? Because the sun is in its way. So we're seeing something burning in the sky. Okay. You know what I'm looking for now. Okay, I'm getting this ready. I'll read a tiny, tiny little poem. And I'm going to take this picture with it. Let me see here. I like this picture. Alright, done. You should tell us more, I guess. I don't know. Alright. Slideshow. Coming up. Ah, you're gaming together. That's awesome. Oh, they do? Were you one? Is that why you know? I've only ever met them when I've actually been dying and they're rushing me to hospital. I hate to say that's happened more than once in my life. And so, but they were, you know, when you're on meds, it's not your fault what you say. And I think one time there was like this 6-foot blonde guy with blue eyes and like the 6-foot like Rasta Caribbean guy on the other end. And I was so like out of it, like I was high from the drugs that they had to put me on for the surgery, that every time I blinked, I kept reintroducing them to my sister. At one point I told them I don't know which end to look at, and I told them they should really like team up and go to clubs and beaches together because they're like the two ends of the earth for like beauty. The beauty of the world, like they're the two opposites, but like they're friends because they work together and they were like the same height. And it was so stupid. My sister was so embarrassed. And I never talked like that with guys ever. It was like anything I was thinking just came right out of my mouth. And I couldn't stop it. And I was too like high to be able to like feel embarrassed about it until after I woke up. I'm like, oh my God, what did I say? But they were so nice about it. I'm sure, you know, if someone's dying in your stretcher, you'd rather they be cracking jokes at you, right? I'm busy like hitting on them at the same time. And you know what? Apparently my sister told me the Russian guy, like the blondie one, actually offered that if I got out of this, he'd meet me on a street that's actually near where I lived. So I must have told him where I lived. And he would walk his dog with me while I walked my dog. I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh, you learned from YouTube. So I think the 2 jobs I should have done, but I was too much of a coward, was be one of those stretcher people to meet guys or be a lifeguard. I could have been a lifeguard. I'm working on like passing lifeguard tests now just for the sake of like having the challenge for swimming. Alright. It's really sweet that you're gaming together. Okay, I've got another view and the tiniest poem. I'll try to make it last as long as possible. Because I think we've been online for 45 minutes. Let's make it last an hour. Here we go. I'm gonna switch you. I'm gonna send you up to my roof and we're gonna look at the sky together. Here we go. We're just playing around with this today. Ooh. At a Lunar Eclipse by Thomas Hardy, 1840 to 1928. He didn't have to live through the Depression at all. Good for him. Alright, here we go. This is what Thomas had to say about a lunar eclipse. Thy shadow, earth, from pole to central sea, now steals along upon the moon's meek shine. In even monochrome and curving lines of imperturbable serenity. How shall I link such sun-cast symmetry with the torn, troubled form I know as thine? That profile, placid as a brow divine, with continents of moil and misery. Well, he wasn't too cheerful, was he? I guess because the moon, it has so many craters and ditches and the scars. This was well before we had astronauts walking around up there, so I guess because the moon was considered like a barren desert, or because it was all by itself up there, just hanging out on its own. Well, that's at a lunar eclipse. Well, let's come back down out of the roof, back into my cozy, warm bedroom. Oh, here we are again. I don't know why. I keep leaning towards the camera today. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna hold back a couple of these because I think I'm gonna develop some of them. 1500s, they thought the dark spots were ocean. Oh, you're kidding me. I didn't even know that. So they didn't know they were craters, they thought they were oceans. Interesting. And I find it interesting, like in Italian, they call Luna, that means marble. So the Americans thought that the moon was like Swiss cheese, and the Italians thought it was like marble stone. It didn't match the marble that they were getting from their quarries at the time. That's interesting. Okay. So, are you going to be gaming with Anne tonight? Or is she on the other line now? Okay, I'm going to close this one down. Woohoo! So we've got time to just chat. I actually can't think of any more actual like haunty type experiences I've had. On Sunday? Yeah, Sunday I'm gonna continue to do the Dragonfly Follies. You know, this whole summer, this past month, it's been really terrible for trying to hold a feed and get into that game. I've been actually pretty disappointed with it, but I'll keep trying. And on gamer nights, we're gonna keep looking at new stuff. We saw some cute things last Thursday. I think Harrow's back, maybe. There is another viewer online. Welcome, viewer. So we've been telling creepy stories from the 1800s this evening. Actually, I find them interesting. And so that's really good. So it turns out that one of my live nights is actually going to be happening on the real Halloween night, which is Tuesday night, and that's going to be like one of my Riddle Me Din Din nights. So I'm thinking maybe I should do something a little more than that. It's going to be a really creepy menu that I'm going to do. I don't know if I should do like just creepy gaming. That Lies of P, the steampunk Pinocchio video game. I don't know. I can't seem to get out of the first train station, but that one kind of has the look of that kind of a night. Maybe I should do a video game for that. I know in World of Warcraft they do have something for that event, which is cute. You can cast wands on people to make them look like different awful things like ghouls, skeletons, and even cute little gnomes. So maybe I'll do something for that night. Oh, excuse me. My final ice cube has melted. I'm so sorry. So, I do have a few more bedrooms to explore in this house. My mini bedroom house for tucking and chill nights. Is there anything you guys want to chat about before we fall for the evening? Are you in for the night? Like, do you have time? I do have some videos, sleep aid videos, that I can play if you want help to just fall asleep. Oh, perfectly fine. I'm just finding the air a bit dry this evening. But I'm eating a lot of apples again. They smell so good. I got something called sunset apples. They smell amazing. And I have the Honeycrisp apples from the farm near where I live. And it just makes the whole house smell amazing. My thoughts on age difference. What does it matter? I mean, if you're in the same age range, that's great. I think that 10 years apart is too big of a gap because one of them is going to be too old-fashioned and controlling of the other, and the younger will always be a little more free-spirited to the times. Yeah, if you're feeling up for it. Age. I will say this. I never looked my age, and because I'm only 5'2", unlike my avatar who's 6'1", and I'm okay with that. Well, let me see. My rigging's not working again. Come on, look at my face, look at my face. Let's just jump on the bed a little bit, hang on. Oh my goodness. So if my mouth is not moving, then just pretend we have a telepathic connection and I'm just thinking my voice to your head. Oh man, there we go. Alright, so let's talk age. Because I looked younger than my age, not only was it difficult for me to meet guys, because I was not allowed to date, but also they thought I looked like a child and they didn't want to look like a pedophile. Like, people actually told me that. So I missed out on dating. In the time where other people were dating, no one would date me. And I wasn't allowed to date on top of that, so that didn't make it any easier. And it was very frustrating. And then I went north. So by the time I came back, when I would come back and visit in like the cities or go on vacations, I would say I'd be hit on by people 10 years younger than me. They had no idea my age, or like older men that maybe were like older than me, but they thought that I was like a kid. And when they go on and on about how good looking I was, they couldn't believe someone my age was looking at them, I'd ask them, how old do you think I am? And they'd think I was like a teenager, and they would be, in their 30s, and I'm like, well, I'm actually XYZ age. And they draw me like a hot potato because I wasn't a child. And I thought that was really gross. I met a lot of potential like pedophiles, man, out there. So I didn't date them. And I'd be like, but I'm more your age than they are. You're dropping me because I'm closer to your age. You're older than me. You're the one that's old. I'm not old, you're old. And then, yeah, so I've been passed over a lot. Yeah, so it's hard to say. I think that 8 years, the Chinese look at 8 as a lucky number in their astrological stuff. They put people together 8 years apart. Now they always pick a guy that's 8 years older. But that generation is like not too far apart, and the younger one keeps the older one young, kind of thing. But I've even met people younger than me that are more old-fashioned than my own parents. So it's like, I don't know. Mindset is more important. But I do think that if you're in your 20s, you stay away from 40-year-olds, man. Stay away from 35-year-olds. Because it is different. Different levels of health, different levels of fitness, different levels of where you're at for having a family or not wanting a family. You gotta find someone whose mindset fits in with yours. Shorter, tall, you like me regardless. Well, you know what, hero? When I need to be taller, the advantage is I buy moon boots. And I wear high heels. Or skates or cowboy boots. There's lots of ways for me to get lift. Yeah, people want younger folk. And, like, I know younger people are more likely to be beautiful, but I don't think that's necessarily true because I look at teenagers when I go into the United States and, the obesity rate is much bigger there. They may be, like, I guess, skinny but they're not necessarily healthy, slender. And when they wave their arms, they've got the old granny flab on their arms. They've got cellulite all over their thighs. Whatever they're eating or drinking is mostly probably junk food, and it does show. So they don't necessarily look better than me, who's a bit older than them. I'm not a teenager anymore. That's all I'm going to tell you about that. But as not being a teenager, those teenage boys still looking at me because I am smaller than the norm of their girls, even though I'm not small. But I was always very muscular. I'll say I took after my dad's side of the family. They all look like football players. I was a female, was very muscular naturally. I didn't have to earn it in a gym, and I just played sports naturally. I just played a lot of sports, and so yeah. The supermodel ambulance guys. Let me tell you, that was the most fun I ever had. Dying on a stretcher was hitting on those two guys. I couldn't control myself. It was whatever meds I was on. It was like a truth serum or something. But I will say that I think I was cute and giggly. And I just kept saying I was embarrassed because I couldn't shower or anything like that. So I hoped I didn't smell bad. And I think I said that out loud. So they're like very gracious. Like who knows what people say when they're on drugs. And I'm not a person who grew up using drugs recreationally, so whatever those doctors gave me really hit. And apparently I also came out of a surgery. My sister was telling me, I kept telling people they turned me into a Borg. So what had happened was when they gave me the sedation medication stuff, they put my conscious mind under, but my subconscious mind came forward, and apparently it's a little girl, and she was so scared of them. I was seeing them go in and out of me for the operation, and she understood what they were doing because they had to put a stent in that they turned me into a Borg. And so I was telling them when I'm coming out of this operation, still high on whatever sedation medication I was coming out of, I understood what they did, having seen the operation in my subconscious mind. I kept talking to the doctor. Apparently they brought a woman in with a chart and puppets to explain to my younger subconscious self what they were doing to me to help me because they didn't want me trying to get out of the bed because I was afraid. And I'm seeing them cut me and I'm seeing them go in and out. And the nurse who was my escort who traveled with me in the ambulance, she says they allowed her to watch the thing. She said she was fascinated because she thought I was awake and never went under, and she had asked the doctor why they weren't putting me under, and the doctor apparently was very shaken and frazzled. Yeah, I have to be like drunk or high, I guess, to be flirtatious. I'm very serious in the real world. I can be funny, but I'm very serious with in a crowded room. I'm quiet and I watch everything. But apparently when I'm high, I use shorter sentences and I giggle a lot. So this apparently would happen during the surgery. And then the escorting nurse and my sister were like, you didn't go to sleep. They used 2 machines on you with anesthetic and more than is necessary for the average person because my subconscious mind wouldn't go to sleep. So when I can't be there, I'm so happy to know that the other half of me comes forward to still protect me. And apparently the doctor was so shaken, he didn't want to have to do surgery on me again. They sent me back to him again because I had 5 surgeries, and they kept sending me to that doctor in that hospital because he was the best one to try to do, and he couldn't get to where it needed to be fixed in the first couple of rounds. I can be funny. Thank you so much. Sometimes I'm super funny. It's more like dry. Usually I'm a dry or ironic humor. But yeah. And so when I was, under this medical spell, I just wish they had a recording of it happening so that I could see and hear myself. Apparently I tried to get up and look at what they were doing. I was listening to everything, and I don't remember any of it. My sister and the nurse had to tell me what had happened, and apparently he was too scared to have me again because it freaked him out that my other side would come forward and wouldn't go away. But apparently it's younger than me. So my child self, I guess. I don't know, my inner child. I guess I have proof that I have an inner child. And she thought they were turning me into a Borg. She was telling everybody what they did to me was turn me into a Borg. Because she saw them open me up, put something in, and close me up again. And I'm like, what? I don't remember any of it. My sister's like, how can you not remember any of it? You didn't even close your eyes. And I'm like, oh my God, who am I? Who's in me? I'm glad she's on my side, So that's not a haunted story, but it's still creepy to know. But I'm glad I'm on my side and I'm watching my own back. I don't know how to meet someone at this point. Honestly, I think, and COVID hurt it too because, like, how can you meet anybody during COVID? It just couldn't. I do everything by myself. I go out by myself all the time. Nobody talks to me. What's worse is I had to give up dancing because I'm not going to go dancing alone. I did try to go dancing alone a couple times to places that I went to when my friends could go, which wasn't very often. A lot of my friends, they paired up pretty early on because they were dating when we were in high school. Some of them got married right out of high school or got knocked up right out of high school. So they already had their, like, domestic lives going on. They've already been partied out. By the time I could start going out, they were kind of partied out. Everyone was kind of paired up, and then there was me. And no one would be my wingman. So when I go out, even if a guy did think I was cute, other people would tell him, don't bother, she's got to be somehow crazy or stupid or something if she's here alone. And that kind of sucked. I'd also have, like, bouncers asking me if I was a hooker because I was there alone. I'm like, are you kidding me? It would really, like, so I didn't want to be insulted anymore. I stopped going dancing, which sucks because I like dancing. Thank you guys for making me feel so good today. I think I kind of know. I think there's a point where for a female, because part of the thing too is you get scared. I and my last girlfriends, the last of us who weren't married, right? None of us are friends anymore because the pressure and the upset and the depression and everything you go through because you can't find someone who wants to be married. Like, we're dating to find someone to marry. They don't want to date. Nobody dates anymore, and we're not interested in just, like, hookups. I've never been we'll call it a sexual tourist. That was never me. I wanted to find someone to have a relationship with, and unfortunately I think because people when they're younger just want to have fun, and then it doesn't I could never meet anyone through my family just kept to themselves, and we had a family business, and I think the 2 other girls also came from family businesses. You just didn't meet people, and we were from stricter backgrounds, so we couldn't just go out and hang out. uh, there was no access. And although I've lived alone for a while now without my parents, I went to the north rather than going to other countries because I saw my friends going to other countries couldn't pay off their student loans, and I wanted to get rid of that student loan. So I stayed in the country, but I went on to reserves. And on the reserves, if you want to have a job or go to university, you have to leave. So there was no one in my age group, when I was in my beginning of the career, it was just 50-plus-year-olds. And I've outlived almost all of them, which is really creepy. I've outlived my references because the first people I ever worked with were already in their 50s, 60s, 70s when I started working. So it's like, oh my God, they're all dead. But it was like, I've already had a senior citizen's life in the years I should have been partying. And now I'm here and I want to party now that I live on a road. And everyone's already had their life with other people, and they're full of debt and lots of kids. And also another thing that's hard, a lot of people smoke, and I can't smoke. I'm allergic to nicotine. I'm allergic to tobacco. I'm allergic to smoke. So I just can't breathe. Like, even if someone who smokes, if they have a sweaty palm and that sweat touches my skin, I will burn. I'll actually have a red burn mark. So there's no way of kissing someone who's a smoker. They can't hide it from me. They can't pretend they don't smoke. I know, because I go into anaphylaxis. Like people with bee stings just blow up like a balloon and I can't breathe. Thank you so much. I hope you meet someone or find someone somehow. I just find it hard when you don't have a wingman. And I find it hard going out alone because, honestly, young girls and older women point me out to their men and laugh all the time, calling me a loser that I am out there alone. I am ridiculed not by the men, but by the women. And that's a hard one, which I don't understand. Because if it's true there's so many divorces out there, and if it's true that there's people accepting abusive relationships and they'll give whatever reason, and I'm not wanting to be in one of those, so I'm over here on my own boat. I just wasn't the girl that guys went after. Now, my best friend would say it's because I have more of a guy sense of humor, not a girl sense of humor, and I was everybody's friend. I was the female who was their buddy. I did play sports with them and all that. But it kind of sucks because there were some really cute guys I grew up with that, and I played sports with or knew them from school. They always come to me between the girlfriends they're pursuing, but they're never interested in me. And yet, to feel better about themselves, they'd always come back to me. And there's a couple of them that I did ask, why not me? Be open to a friend. You're always coming back to me. But just to make clear, too, I didn't have sex with them. I didn't let them do that. And if they got handsies, I stopped meeting up with them, which is why I'm now not friends with many people that I knew growing up. I outlived a lot of people I grew up with, actually, by the time I was not even in university yet, by the time I was still in high school. Accidents, medical issues. Some children are born with medical issues. It's very sad. And I've lost friends from kindergarten, grade 4, grade 8, grade 10. They were done. Except for one guy who went to prison. And me. And then I think I was, going through university, going through that before I realized that I need to try to make friends. And I did try to make friends. And they're all gone too, because once people, especially females, they start getting married and having kids, all of a sudden they think of themselves as in a different class. And you who helped them through all their stuff in life, suddenly they don't have time for you, or you're beneath them somehow. And I had them, the year that I had all those operations just to stay alive, after 5 operations, they're telling me, if you don't at least get knocked up and have a baby, then we have nothing in common with you anymore. Good luck out there. I'm like, what? We've known each other all through school. We've been friends all this time. And you're cutting me off because, the operations I had mean my organs are too weak to have a baby. Why would I risk my life? So what, we can do baby yoga? Screw you, right? So that's kind of why I'm here online. And I got into gaming. Again, another thing that there's a lot of women out there doing it, but there are so many guys doing that. But it was more fun, and they were nicer to me. The problem is with me is I don't cry about it. I get angry and want to tell people off. I'm going to blame the Italian in me for that one. I'm built like a little volcano. When people are trying to make me feel embarrassed in public, or trying to make me feel bad about myself in public, I know that's their intent, I get mad and mouthy instead of running away crying. Although I do feel bad about it on the inside and I want to cry, but I don't. I want to like tell them off for being idiots. And I've learned not to act on that feeling. That's me growing up, I suppose. But I do think it sucks. But I find it interesting. It's not men who are shaming me for doing that. It's the women. They most recently was actually last summer when it happened, saying that it's not normal to see a girl alone. I went to a wine pairing by a chef. I've never done it before in my life. Thank you, Hero. And I'm like, you know what? If I wait for other people to have the money and the time to ever want to do things I want to do, I'd never get to do anything. I would have never seen the world. I would have never met everybody that I've ever met. I'm like, screw that. I'm going. And I went to this wine pairing. Now, it was a place where I do go. It's like, you know, when you move to a new town, you have to pick a place. You kind of keep going there so that people get to know you and you have kind of a base. And this was the place where I like to go to eat. A healthy place, expensive now, so I kind of don't really go there anymore. But all the wait staff knew who I was. They knew I was a good tipper, which helps, and that I was a nice, quiet person. At least in person. You guys have to put up with listening to me, because here on this venue, it's all I can do to reach you is to talk. But going out in public, I keep to myself. But I want to have fun. I want to see what's going on. And the wait staff came out and were very nice to me. I was ridiculed. And one of the waitresses, I guess, told the chef. And he came out and personally talked to me at my table for a few minutes. I'm like, you don't have to. It's okay. I'm okay. I know you're busy. And he's like, nope. And he basically was kind enough. He's a young father. They just had a baby. But he was kind enough to come out and give me some time and conversation and show me respect for being a fan and appreciating his cooking. And I thought that was really classy and kind of him to do. And kind of the waitress to kind of have my back like that, as she wouldn't let me hang out alone in the wind when 3 other women were like... And what I don't understand is those 3 women are there together because they were single. So what are you talking about me for? You know? But I was like, But I'm just glad I'm kind to people, because that seems to have been the one thing that's been my buffer back. Like if it's karma inflow, that other people didn't like it, they knew I was a nice person, so they did something nice to kind of have my back. So I still go there once in a while. Not too often, because they got really pricey. Everything's really pricey now. But yeah, thank you. Well, you're the first person to ever talk to me. You made me not give up on VTubing. Hey guys, I realized this. I've been counting all wrong. I've only been actually VTubing with an avatar since March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So really, this is my 7th month as a VTuber. I'm really not as old as I thought I was, which makes me feel really happy since I'm still having glitches with my computer. But I'm glad you're here to spend the evening with me. I'm wondering if because it's the Halloween month, maybe this is the month I should do tuck-in and chills every Friday. We'll see. I'll only post the official ones, but I may just pop in a few more times if I find more creepy stories. I think I kind of like the ones I'm finding from the 1800s, to be honest with you. They're kind of like sad and stuff, but it's interesting. So that's the time period they didn't have TV, so they grew up without TV, so their stories gotta be effective. Man, I don't know why. I'm jumping on the bed here. My avatar, I'm looking right at the camera. It's just not following my mouth at all. So sorry, guys. It's just a night of telepathy. So sorry for that. I don't know what's going on with it. I had problems since I think August when it all started. It's when they changed our cables in our walls of this old building. This building's older than me for sure. It's got to be at least 40 years old. this building, and they took out the old cables and put in fiber optic wires for Bell. And I'm using Bell. I don't know if you've heard of it, Bell Canada. I don't know what you guys have, Shaw or something like that. Anyways, it's just been sucky ever since. Thank you for saying that. I want to get better. I'm really upset by the glitches, and I am upset with myself if I'm a bit late coming into the shows. I do want to be consistent and more professional. At the same time, this is actually the first week since I started where I stopped coming home and making new videos right away. I didn't pre-post anything this week. And so that's why when I made some weird stuff like last second in the morning, I just threw it in there to have something in there. They're not my best work, but I just want to stay like active, because as I'm reading and going through what other VTubers have gone through, I'm learning. Sorry, I'm shaking myself because I'm trying to get my avatar to pay attention to my mouth. Look at my mouth. Do what I do with my mouth. Well, I guess that's what Ryan's going to be saying to Anna soon. So sorry, I'll back off. We like Anna. We want Anna to join us. Make Anna join us. Yeah, I hope I'm doing well. I'm realizing as I look through Twitters, I'm not at all doing what these anime artists can do and their memes and stuff, but they're very sexualized, and I made a very particular point of not wanting to be too sexualized. Like, I'd say this is the smexiest I'm gonna get in here, and look at this. Usually I'd be wearing black. I have so many black outfits that I've saved for this character. Come on, Venus, move your mouth. Ah, I'm being so stubborn today. Telepathy it is. I'm just my voice to your mind. My lips aren't even moving for it. Well, but so what I was saying was, I'm sorry that my mouth is not moving. I'm gonna shake my head. Nope, she's not tracking me at all. Stubborn little thing. Okay. So, I'm looking at stuff about VTubers, and they say it takes about 18 months to finally get, like, enough people to monetize. So I'm hoping to figure out that. And I've also been watching other things, people that have been successful in monetizing, and they're telling me that they still haven't figured out how to work the analytics either. And they're telling me that they had one big go, and then they never made the same success again. And that's exactly what I found for me. So I am going to still make some ridiculous shorts at times, trying to play with analytics. But I am going to get back to affirmation videos and stuff like that. The sleep aid videos. I still can't make the larger files, but I can make them up to 2.5 hours. So I'm going to maybe take those 8-hour videos and figure out how to shorten the stories. And still kind of keep the feel I made for them, so that I can post them. You know, I think the thing is that because girls have deadlines, I kind of got into this, but then I cut off. So we have an expiration date for having babies. And I'm going to say it like this, from the North American stuff, we're made to not date, many of us, for whatever reason. And some of us don't have a cultural group to fall back on where within the cultural group you've got that card to play and you can meet someone through like a cultural picnic or a cultural parade or whatever. I don't have that. I'm more of a Heinz 57. And also with family businesses, you're just with family, and if they expect you to succeed in university, you're kept alone that much longer. And if you're part of the financial plan of a family unit, you're kept much longer. And even if you want to meet someone, like nobody ever pursued me. I was the buddy, I guess. So I don't know. I say I was Darwined out. I'm going to say it like that. I was Darwined out, and I'm a genetic dead end. Because once you get to a certain age, you don't know if health or a car accident or a genetic thing pops up, And I'm also noticing with my friends, many of my friends, before even hitting 40, are already dealing with things like menopause, teenage menopause. I don't know if you guys even heard of things like that. They exist, and you're dealing with questions of, do I take medications to force my body to do A, B, C? And then if you want to have kids, and I don't know anyone I went to school with that I've talked to over the past few years that was able to easily have children. There's a whole generation of us. They're paying all this money for these medical interventions and stuff, or adoptions, and the processes they go through have been so heart-wrenching and expensive, and a lot of us, for whatever reasons and different reasons, couldn't. And some accepted that, and others went for adoption, and others, we don't qualify. Me being single, I don't qualify. I'm already automatically not even allowed to apply. And I don't make enough money, although I have finally a stable job. But age matters for us, and guys, for a longer period of time, don't have to leave home. Mom cooks and cleans or whatever. If they do leave home, they may be a playboy. And if you want to see, I think one of the problems is people say, just get knocked up. That you didn't want to be knocked up. We weren't raised to want to be single mothers. We wanted to have a family. And everyone's skipping over that concept. We wanted someone who would love us back, and then love us enough to want to have children with us. And I don't think that's out there anymore. Or if it is out there, lucky the people who find it. I just don't know many people who found that. I've seen us, those of us who couldn't date in school, never met anyone who understood that we waited for marriage. That's something no one talks about anymore. We don't live in a part of, like in the United States, I think there are certain states that are dedicated to their certain religions and the way they do things. And so everybody eventually finds someone because that's the system. I don't know how the people feel who don't feel like the system's for them. I don't know what they're going through, but I know for us, we missed out. And the very things our parents didn't want us to date or get involved with, and why we had to focus on school, and then do this in an order, and then you're going to do university, and then you're going to do this in an order. There's nothing left by the time you finish that order. It's not available. And the thing that's left over is the thing they never wanted you to date. You didn't want to get involved with that. I never wanted to be with someone who wasn't going to be monogamous. Let me tell you something. I never found a single man who was willing to be monogamous. I never did. I want someone who has a job, who has a work ethic. Because when they don't, and I mean this with girls too, I hate that my brother got involved with a gold digger. He's never going to come out of that hole. You know? But I don't want to be pulled down a toilet financially by a guy who's going to threaten to hit me, who's going to tell me I'm all sorts of swear words, lift a finger or a fist to my face to threaten me. I'm unlike most females in that if you do that once, you never get a second chance, and I'll kill you. Pardon my French. I don't want to, okay, don't record this and use it against me in a court of law. What I mean is, I'm out. And there's no second chance, because I have watched relationship after relationship where it just gets worse. I've never seen it get better. I've never seen someone actually turn it around. Temporarily, to get obedience, not as a lifestyle choice. I've never seen it happen. I've never seen it happen. So, what are the choices? I don't know. I would have really liked to have met someone that was going places who would have liked me back. And now, looking for that, I don't think it's out there. I think, the supermodel girls had it better. I don't know. Maybe they'll tell me no, because probably everybody in their line of work was after them. I don't know. But, I think the thing for me is, now that I've been alone for so long, it's hard for me to listen to people tell me to let a man direct me. That he has to be my alpha and my lead. Like, I think that's coming from religion or culture or something. Wherever this talk that goes on in these memes and Twitter feeds and stuff, I have to turn it off, because it's like, no guy helped me with my homework. No guy helped me change a tire. No guy protected me when I had gangs coming to my front door threatening to do things to me. I had to fight for myself. No one had my back. So I think I kind of maybe know how to do stuff like button my own shirt the way I want to. Or whether or not I should go play sports or swim or not. Or go for a walk or not. Like, I don't know if it's a Napoleon complex when you meet someone and they just decide they get to tell you how to do everything. Because you have a penis, I don't buy into that. That's not the reason why I should follow your lead. Because so far I've been doing good by myself. Nobody helped me with that. And I don't believe there's a lot of guys who maybe they build muscle to attract a girl so they can screw around, but have they been in a real fight? Would they have my back? I've been like paid as a monster in a haunted house for a couple of years, and more often than not, the guy throws the girl at me and rushes down the hall to the next monster. You know what I mean? Like, I'll tell the girl, that's not the keeper. Yeah, so what I've learned about Twitter is you've got a lot of artists in there who want to make money selling what they can do, and they can do beautiful things that I can't do. But I don't have the money for that. And they're not following me into YouTube, and they're not following me into Facebook. The Facebook people aren't following me into YouTube. I don't know. I've asked so many times, I don't want to ask anymore. So I just find Twitter's a place for artists looking for someone to pay them for their art. And I don't think anybody has any money to do that right now. So I wish them well, because they are all very talented. But they only follow me hoping that, like, they give me their spiel. And some of them unfollow me when I say, I'm sorry, I don't have the money right now. Others might not have unfollowed me because I say, when I monetize, I'll let you know. And they're waiting. I feel like, but I also can't do memes like they do. Like, they do great memes, but it's very sexualized. And that's not the side of things that I wanted to go with this avatar. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. So that's my little, I think we had 3 followers at one point, but I don't know who's out there listening. It's possible it's Hero Flame and Ryan. It's possible Tishy Adams came in, or it's possible that Dark Alice just popped in and went out, because I think Dark Alice doesn't have a Google account. Like, they can't chat here. So, yeah. But I did see somebody, so thank you, whoever popped by. So that's my ramble for today. I don't know. What else you guys want to talk about? Like, I really hope if you want to find someone that you do, Hero. And the only, thought I could say is try to go to different places than you've gone before, different events. Because if we keep going to the same places, we'll always see the same people. And if you're not meeting someone there, they've got to be somewhere else. That's all I could ever come up with. That's why I've done so many things. Although it hasn't worked out for me. It usually works out for other people. Thank you. And you are meeting the real me. Although I have a blue wig. I haven't dyed my hair blue. I've tried to dye my hair blue, but my hair just eats the dye. If I dip my ends in red, it stands out and it lasts. Red sticks to me, but blue, I just seem to eat it. So this is my alter ego here. And my favorite color hair. One day I'll figure it out, but I did buy the pieces to build a wig to represent this. And right now I have the short part of this. So the front pieces that you see, I've got one that's about that long. Ryan, I just don't want to pick on you. I feel like you're a cutie pie. look, it's not that, like, my dad's a leader, but I trust my dad. I've seen him take a baseball bat to a whole biker gang and win. I mean, I guess he set the bar a bit high. I've seen him be like rushed by 20 people, and him as his friends, he take them on and not bend a knee, you know? Old-fashioned stuff that it's not how people live anymore. I guess if things get good, you live in a nice area, that doesn't happen, right? But you know, like, I find most people my age don't toe the line, and so why would I let you to think for me? And I'm not saying anything bad, like, but you know, I've done this by myself. I had to. I didn't have a choice. No one wanted to be by my side. So after all this time, I'll amend that. I could always fall back on my parents or my brothers or sister to help me heal, or for an opportunity or an adventure, but no one else had ever given me that. My best friend out there in the world, we don't see each other often. We're just so busy in our own lives, but we could come together after 2 years and it's like no time has gone by. She has been there facing the scary stuff, but these are people that never say, oh, I love you, oh, don't you love me back? You get none of that smushy business, which I think is like just playing with people's emotions, or emotional blackmail, or whatever you want to call it. They don't talk like that. We're not touchy-feely. But when things are bad, they stand right up beside you. But I haven't gotten that from a guy. Often a guy has bailed on me after they put me in the position to be endangered. I've thought about this very carefully. First couple of guys endangered me and left me like that. And so I don't trust. So if I'm supposed to follow your lead or your idea, I have to have seen some proof that you've got some sense in your head. You know what I mean? I don't find a lot of them that are not already taken do. And there's so many guys out there that pursue someone, maybe girls too. Okay, I'm just talking from my angle, trying to find someone for me. I don't find someone that's not already married or hiding that they're living with someone, like, or maybe more than one other person they're already playing. Like, I just haven't had the luck. And where to meet people? I didn't meet anyone through school. I didn't meet anyone through sports. There's a couple guys through sports that did ask me out, then showed up with another girl. And I asked some of them why. And some of them gave me answers. Because the girl I really wanted didn't want me until she knew you existed, and then she wanted me, so of course I'm going to go after her. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I've been stood up a lot. I got a lot of stand-up stories. And I look back at my pictures and say, I don't think there was anything wrong with me. I couldn't afford, like, the high fashion, but I was always coordinated. And I didn't think I wasn't hideous. So why? But I was never somebody's first choice, for sure. So, but, I mean, some people like the dynamics. For me, it doesn't work, and I think that counts against me because it's harder for me to get along with a guy, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, my hair always seems kind of dry, like straw. When I wake up in the morning, it could look like a lion's mane, a big fat, like, afro, fat, curly, half straight, half curly. The curly parts hold out the straight parts, and it can hurt to brush. So when I have those days where I would say my hair hurts, I put it in a bun a lot. and more better to just, like, wash it. And I use a big fat pick or like a wig comb sometimes to get the knots out, because otherwise it hurts too much and I'm just breaking all my hair. I actually broke a lot of my hair this year with the swimming, because it was drying. When it's wet, it's curly, and if I'm in somewhere like Mexico, my hair is like big fat curls. But in the weather, in the atmosphere in like northern like Canada, United States, my hair goes like weird. It goes like flat, sort of, and yet it still wants to curl. So as I get sweaty, the hair under the back of my neck starts to curl. Then it tangles really bad because the hair on top wants to be sad and straw-like. Thank you. I don't know what people are like out there because, so last year when I was going through the surgeries and I had to stay in the bed for a couple of weeks, I discovered a guy named Vox Akuma, and I know he was other personalities before. I'm sure he's a sleepy dragon, grumpy dragon guy. He was a Sagittarius guy talking about gaming stuff, like all this stuff. But his voice was amazing, and that's when I delayed becoming a VTuber because I was gonna do it when I had to stay home, and that's when I made this alt instead, and I put a little money into it because I wanted to look as good as he does online. But he was very sexual. I think he's backed off from that now. Ryan, you're making me crack up. I think it's because of all the TV shows with wolves and vampires and stuff. He talks about alphas. I don't know. I thought about making a personality. Originally I was going to do a Dark V series, and friends said don't do it. Family said don't do it. I thought if I get monetized, I'll go for 2 years. But I couldn't pull off a character. I just wanted to be me, just me, and a pretty package. But I've been through a very different, unusual, I guess, kind of life for these days. And I've spent half of it in lonely, isolated places with not a lot of people in it and not a lot of normal things to do. And now I'm here. Well, I made it into a city finally with a job when COVID hit. And so it was still weird. What do you mean alpha wolves don't exist? Isn't there always an alpha? I can believe... Ryan, I don't want to bully you. What does 7 to 10 mean? I'm a 7 to 10 on a good day. I don't want to bully anyone. I just want to be your guild master, that's all. I kind of still think of this like gaming, because I don't know how better to say things. That's why I call it guild meetings on Saturdays. I didn't know what to call it meetings. It's boring. You're in my guild now. But Ryan, that's why I suggested you do the coffee game. Like, get in there, man. Go. Go get what you want. No, I'm actually on a staff with 4 or 5 guys. They're all new fathers. None of them are getting any sleep. And they're all kind of grumpy and sleepy all the time. Which is funny, because for the most part, I've always worked with women. There really hasn't been many guys around. I think the concept of alpha male is supposed to be like the guy that is the head of the household, or head of the family. There used to be these old farmers' almanacs I saw, and they would talk about husbandry. There's animal husbandry. There's also husbandry of your own household. So to be a good husband, I actually had in a farmer's almanac for the 1800s, it actually had like a job description kind of thing for running your household. Things that fall on your shoulders. It was interesting. How good you look? You're Irish? Irish American soldier. Do you eat meat and potatoes? Do you like Irish stew? Is Irish stew in Ireland, or did Americans make that up? You have to tell me, did Americans make up Irish stew, or did it come from Ireland for real? It's one country I haven't seen that everyone I know who's been there has loved it. Oh, they don't exist. Interesting. I would have given myself a 7 to 8. I wouldn't give myself that now. But my face hasn't changed. And I can clean up good. But I do cosplay. I'm still doing cosplays, and so, yeah. I think that keeps me at a 7. So here's some of my heritage. My mom's side is from Lesmahago, Scotland, and they are the tailors of the double black kilt line, the Tailor Rebels. And they may or may not have gone to Ireland at one point and then come back to Scotland. That's on my mom's side, yeah. And so the tartan is like, it's like a mossy green. And ironically, I was surprised about this. It had like this little mauve lines in it. Very pretty little mauve lines. I didn't know they could make purple. And then the double black tailor tartan. And so they're like of Clan Cameron. I don't know if you guys have the same thing with the kilts. Clan Cameron. I don't know. The Irish accent, if you have it, I know you'll say that's not the accent, I have the accent, but we'll just say, just to make me happy, the Irish accent always sounds like they're happy. They always sound like upbeat. Even if they're trying to tell someone off, I can't like be scared because they sound so happy. I don't know if you noticed that. That's how I think of how the Irish sound. But I know Scottish sounds. I'm not making the sounds. But I do have cousins that have the Scottish sound when they speak. But I don't have it. If I make fun of them, then I sound like it. But not. I won't do that. Yeah. But I am actually a lady in Scotland. I went and bought myself 5x5 foot space with where you can GPS where my tree is. And so since I own land, I'm a lady in the King James Court. I know it's all spoof, but I'm one day going to go back to Scotland just to get myself a library pass that calls me lady. Just to have it. And I bought my parents 1 foot by 1 foot spaces right beside each other so they could have GPS trees and they could be a lord and a lady too. Well, my dad wants to be a gladiator, so I'm going to find out if Italy has anything like that. Give him a status gladiator. Okay, so if you look like an American soldier, are your socks all in a row in your sock drawer? That is going to make me laugh if you keep your socks in a row in a sock drawer. Are you? Oh no, we're two volcanoes. Are you mixed between Irish and Italian too? You have no hope of being like even keel, do you? Are you an explosive person? You build it up and build it up and build it up, and then one day you just go off when a pin drops and nobody understands why, but you've been holding it in for a long time? I think that's what that combination makes. And I'm still guessing the hero's from Jamaica. But I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Or Jamaican heritage. I'm guessing. I don't know. I've never been to Jamaica. I've been to Trinidad a couple of times because my friends came from there. And I went with them when their siblings were getting married. It was a really nice experience to see from that. So wait, Ryan, does this mean your socks are all in a row? Soldiers. I was always afraid of... I have a friend who will only date soldiers because then she knows they ship out eventually. Because she can't live with people, but she likes meeting them. But I'm afraid of dating soldiers because their sock drawer would probably be neater than mine. And I don't know, I'm just expecting they would be disappointed in me. That's what I got from movies about soldiers. You gotta keep your socks neat. Everything is tucked in its place. Oh, when I'm smiling, my avatar's not even smiling. This sucks to have problems with the VTuber. I keep reloading her, and sometimes she even just shuts down on her own. Not good. Okay, I'm doing this. Flipping my hair. Flipping my hair. Oh. I'm so sorry, guys. She just won't track today. You got 20 pairs of socks? That's awesome. That means you don't have to rush to do laundry every week. Okay. Tell me you wear black socks under black pants and white socks under white pants. You know, it's smart to get like a pack of the same, because then when one sock goes missing in the laundry, you just keep the other one until another sock gets a hole and you have to throw it out, and then you still have a pair. It lasts a long time that way. It saves some money. Socks are so expensive now too. I can't believe it. So for my Halloween costume, let me tell you about my Halloween costume this year. You know, I cosplay a lot lately as a Slytherin because it's the simplest thing I can put on for all these little town fairs. But on my staff, the whole staff, like, I don't know how many of us there are. There's more than 20 people on this staff where I'm working. And we've coordinated that we're all going to be Disney villains. And then all of the aides are going to be like the Disney heroes, but they have to pair themselves to a villain. So the teachers, we picked our things first. So I'm going to be Flotsam and Jetsam. The two eels that work with Ursula, the grade 8 teacher is going to be Ursula from The Little Mermaid. So since I'm the bag lady of my career, I'm the French teacher, so I go around room to room. I had bought a big tablecloth from Party City, and it looks like the top of a swimming pool where you see the colors of the water and also the light shining from the sun on the ripples of the water, if that makes sense. So I got it to throw over top of my cart as I have to wheel through the hallways. And inside my workroom is this little machine that plays Baby Shark. So I'm going to turn it on while I walk through the hallways past all the little kids in my Flotsam and Jetsam costume with the ocean wave coming with me, which is my cart. And what I bought, and I'm waiting for it to come from Amazon, are Jaws socks. So I'm going to be walking around in my socks. So when my feet are together, it looks like Jaws is coming up out of the water on my shins to bite people. So I'm going to have Jaws. And I'm just going to wear a blue dress and put my jeans on underneath. And I'm going to paint my face blue. I have my blue wig. So I'm going to be Flotsam and Jetsam. And it's like just a scarf. And the two eel heads are on either end of the scarf. I just have to use my art wire to kind of figure out how to perch them up. Because I don't think I can attach them to my hands. But I might attach them to my hands. I don't know. So that's what I'm going to be for work. Because I got to be part of this new team. So Flotsam and Jetsam with my ocean wave and my Baby Shark music and Jaws coming up from my feet. That's going to be my costume. I might just paint a Nemo on my cheek too. Just to throw it all in together. Oh my god, you're so cute. In spite of your heritage, you don't drink or smoke. That's really good. I don't drink really very often. Like you go to a wedding, do a toast or something. I can't smoke because I'm allergic, so that would actually kill me. That would actually stop me from breathing. Swearing, I'll be honest, if I'm stuck in traffic and someone pulls a jerk move, every word I've ever heard comes out of my mouth and my hands are going just like an Italian would. Like a human spinning wheel. But otherwise I don't. Like, I mean, I've had a lifetime working with kids. Even when I was still a kid, I was babysitting and teaching dance classes and helping out with my friends at school. I think there was only once I ever swore in front of my dad. He was teaching me how to drive, and we hit this ice patch, And we spun a good 360 around, but luckily he took me out into the mountains. No one was around. Someone did see from a distance, but they were able to stop in time. And I just remember that I swore really loud. I stayed, like, other than that, pretty calm. Like, I let the wheel tell me where it was going. I made sure that I stopped us, and we didn't go off the road. But we did spin around a full pizza circle. And without saying a word, my dad didn't say a word. It's the first time he ever heard me swear in my whole life. I very quietly didn't look at him. I put the car in park. I opened the door. He opened his door. We went around the car. We traded places, got in. The other car drove up slow and just asked if we were okay. We were. And after he rolled up his window, he goes, "So, I know that. It's my fault that you learned this word. We'll never speak of it again. Hopefully, you never will say it again." And then he kept driving and he drove home. And I said nothing. But it was the funniest. In my head, I knew one day I would laugh. And now I'm laughing about it. And the one time I did swear out loud on a Friday night, when I was drinking, there was a time I did drink. I cannot drink anymore. It would actually shut down my organs. My organs can't digest alcohol. So I admitted at one point we were playing a game, which was a stupid game, where my friends would bet how close to half a glass of wine I could drink, and then I'd be passed out. So I just can't digest it, can't do it. So I don't usually drink at all, because it does hurt my system. So it's not that I'm trying to be a nerd or anything. It just doesn't work for me. But I love flavored waters. I love pop. Unfortunately, I love pop and milkshakes, so those are bad. Those are fattening, but I'll have them once in a while, especially in the summer. I'm more like wanting things like that in the summertime than in the winter. In the winter, I do appreciate a cup of tea. Interesting. Well, I'm very excited you will allow me to bully you. I don't know. That's so funny. I will tell you this. I was a person who was pretty quiet and very serious. So serious that I saw my elementary report card one time and I never looked again. Teachers were complaining on my report cards that I was too serious and I should learn how to play with other children. And my parents just knew I thought they were being dumb, so I didn't want to bother. They were mean. Listen, we were teased. I didn't want anything to do with it. They weren't my friends, and I wasn't going to pretend for the teacher. At least I knew my truth. But, no, I'm not good with obeying people. Even if I set a rule for myself, like don't eat chocolate bars, that will be when I start compulsively eating chocolate bars until I'm sick. Then I'll eat some more so I'm truly sorry because I'm in pain from it, until I get it out of my head that that's a rule. So when it comes to New Year's Eve, I never make any kind of whatever promise, because that's just a lie. Who are we kidding? You pass the cake right now, because we're not doing that. If I set a rule, I'll break it until I'm sick. So and then other people expect me to follow their rules. That just doesn't work. I don't know. But in school, while I was quiet and I was serious, and I didn't like people telling me what to do, I usually collected the shy people as my friends, the quiet ones. And usually once I got them talking, would find out they saw a lot of people the same way I did. They noticed a lot of the same stuff I did, and they felt like not happy about it too. So, I don't know, maybe I can't be quiet anymore, but I always liked the quiet ones. And honestly, I would pick on them too. If they were a quiet guy and they were my friend, I would suddenly take the pencil out of their hand or bump them just because. Or distract them. It was my fun to distract them. Take their paper. Just delay whatever they're trying to get done. Because they never really want to get mad at me. They try to hold their temper in. And I don't know why I thought that was so fun to play with. That was bad of me. But I did that. I did do that. Right through high school, I was doing that. So yeah, my day job, I can't swear at all. It's more comes out driving and getting caught in people pulling bad moves that make me feel like I'm gonna die. And then I swear. But at home, like, I live by myself now. And I could never go back to living with another person, I guess. What? Your first genuine friends? Also, the people who were very outgoing collected you as their friend? Yeah. And you're 6 feet tall. So did you play sports? I played every sport I could get into. What I found kind of helpful was the girl who people said bad things about because she got around. And she did. She got around. She owned that. Actually was the first person to be my friend in high school. And I met her, I think, at the end of the first year. And I will say, everybody knew and made it a point to spread around that I was the least experienced person in the school. And somehow our senses of humors matched. And one day she told me she was glad I didn't judge her like other people did, and I said, ditto. You know, it's strange how that happened. We found a friendship with our opposite. So were you in the chess club? Or like gaming, like video gaming? When I was the youngest, like when video games were first the thing in our house, my brothers were so into it that I just gave up trying to have a turn. And so it wasn't until I moved out from my job that I finally got into video gaming, and then it was like World of Warcraft all the way. It was so fascinating to me. Just even learning how to use computers has been a fascinating journey for me. Oh my goodness. I think we lost Hero Flame. They must have gone to bed. You know, there's something here that was supposed to let people, like it's this thing that was supposed to let people play tic-tac-toe while we chat, and yet it never did work properly. I think I lost it again. Game widget, let's see about this. Okay, do you see that? I opened it up. I don't think it lets us play. We haven't figured out. I tried to troubleshoot this with Dark Alice, and I tried to troubleshoot it with Hero Flame. And I tried to troubleshoot it with Tisha Adams. We couldn't get it to work. And I've tried to watch the video about it, but I don't know. Can't get it to work. So I'm gonna hide that again. It's just there to make me mad. Oh look, I'm opening my mouth again. Yay! Hi everybody. Using my mouth. I actually know how to play chess. Last year I had a student yell to the class, grade 8 guy, I'm a man and you're a woman, so I don't have to do what you say. I don't have to listen to you. And I hit the roof because it was his religion, his culture telling him that. And I'm like, what have you done for this world compared to what I've done for this world? Like, you sit down right now. You child. And I couldn't believe it. Anyways, I was glad when he moved. But I spanked him good. He loved chess. So I showed up at the chess club and I challenged him to a game and I won. I'm like, thanks, Dad, because he taught me in grade 5. So I'm like, yes. And everybody wanted to play me after that to beat me. And they couldn't beat me. I'm like, thanks, Dad. But the truth is, I looked up online, what is the fastest way to win a chess game? And I memorized it. And the one time it didn't go well, I just kept trying to get back into that configuration. And it worked every time. They didn't catch on that I was doing the same thing every time. I'm like, this is great. The internet, I don't know. I grew up without it, and yet I can't imagine not having it now, especially living alone. I feel sad for like older people that are alone and they're not into computers because there's so much we can do with them now. Um, like even just to have music on in the morning, or it's my alarm clock now. I even use it to like talk to people on the phone without having a phone. It's awesome. It's okay. Okay, do you like bowling? I am terrible at bowling. I took a class bowling once, and they let me bowl whenever they were getting too ahead of the other team so they could have a close game. That's how bad I am. I get a ball every time. I can't figure it out. But ping pong. Now, if it bounced off my forehead, I'd still keep playing the game. That was a fun one. Ping pong's pretty fast. My brothers and I, we'd bounce it off of anything as long as we kept it moving. What's a zoomer? Oh, so you're not a millennial? You're something after a millennial? Zoomer. Wait, no, you're a millennial. When did millennials start? In the 80s? They were born in the 80s, so you would be born. Oh, Gen Z, okay. The iPad. I lived a very physical life right up until COVID happened. And if COVID hadn't happened, I would never be here because everything I learned on computers was because of COVID. In order to keep my job, I had to learn how to use all the Google stuff. So I asked an 8-year-old, "You ever done this?" "Yeah, show me now." I even gave him money for a pizza. I told him to get a TED Talk show because I didn't know how. And all the adults, my bosses, didn't know how. And they're like, "You have 12 hours to learn this." I'm like, "What the hell?" And so I talked to kids. Gen Z is 2000s. Okay. Oh my God, you're a 2000s baby. Aww. You're just a baby. So do you collect loud and aggressive people around you? Like, is Anna loud? Is she aggressive? Yeah. For me, it was swimming. I would actually swim to another town. It would take a couple hours to do it to get to their swimming pool on the weekends just to swim. And I did it once a week on Wednesdays as well. Um, Up until they finally cut that off too. But for the first little bit, I was able to do it. Aww. Well, that's good. I wish you a peaceful life. I hope people find the person that's like right for them. Okay, do you have red hair? Blonde hair? Blue eyes? Green eyes? Are you a red-headed, green-eyed Irish person? Red hair pops up in my family a little bit. Like it's a little bit there. We have some strawberry blondes and some like dark haired, darker skin. But the beard will have red in it. Like a Viking, I guess, or a barbarian. Hmm. Are you describing you? Or are you... Oh, that's you. Okay. And that's the Italian in you then. Alrighty. Crafts. Caveman maps. You know what I love to watch is... there are two shows I used to love to watch. I don't have a TV anymore, so I can't get the channels right now. But I used to watch Made in Steel, like the crafting, where there's smiths, like knife smiths, and they're making different weapons. And the weapon guys would test them on different stuff. And there was another one with like the Best Warrior, where they pick people from different time periods and cultures and use like computer stuff to figure out who would have been the ultimate warrior. That's what it's called. I find that stuff fascinating. How people actually survived the world and fought. Horrible ways people hacked each other up, man. But crafting the weapons has always been cool to me. Okay, so you know how I use the two-sided axe here with my avatar? That is a weapon of choice. Um, because I grew up playing baseball, so it's a natural thing to swing. And then if someone's behind you, you swing back. Because I know from like doing martial arts, it's not just your push forward that matters, but when the arm is coming back, you use the same amount of force coming back. Someone could be behind you aiming for your kidneys or your ribs. You've got to be able to protect that side too. And I know with longer, like broadswords and stuff, once you swing down, someone could be at your back. It's not so easy to turn and get that back up again. So that always makes me... Same with your spears. Like, you go in with that stab, that shorter dagger holding person is going to come right back up at you before you can get it back around again. You know what I mean? So, like, I like that two-headed axe bit. But I haven't done the throwing axes that people do. I haven't been to those yet. But I imagine, like, I think short knives probably would feel better in my hands. They would balance better. They would be faster to move around with. But I have short arms, so I'd have to be able to take hits. And I'm thinking in a real fight, if they have a longer weapon, then I'm dead before I can land mine. You know what I mean? Unless I'm really good at dodging. And I'm slower than I used to be. I haven't sparred in a long time. Stone spear. I would be curious to know if I'd be good at archery. I don't know if I would be or not, but I'm good with water guns. Okay, other weapons from the stonesmithing stuff. From the smithing stuff. I don't know. It's all interesting to me. I've never understood how the hilt could stay on the blade and not break apart when you're smashing things or cutting things up. There's some wicked weapons, though, some nasty things out there. I would say when I watch the Game of Thrones, watching Oberyn with a whip, that seems interesting to me. However, I figure I'd probably whip myself by accident because I'd be bad at controlling the direction. And I think a boomerang, I'm afraid of throwing a boomerang because I'll probably hit myself in the head when it comes back rather than catch it. I don't know how they catch those things. But I've seen a real one. I've touched a real one. I just haven't thrown it. I was too afraid. Because I would want to wear like back catcher's outfit with the mask and protect my face. a helmet before throwing one of those. Oh, Hero was back and is gone again. Oh, they must be having trouble with their Wi-Fi. Oh, well. So what do you do with your weapons? Do you put them on your walls? Yeah. It's almost like it's like 12:30. We've been on for a while. Thank you for keeping me company and have a wonderful night. Have fun with gaming with Anna. I'm so glad you guys have become friends. I wish you all the best. I'm all out of water, but I have an apple here. So here we go. There's my apple. This one is a Honey Crisp. So I'm going to eat this apple for your health and mine. I have nothing to toast with anymore but my apple. It was a good night tonight. How are you guys feeling? Are you feeling better now? It's a good apple. If you like apples, they are pickable at farms right now. My last Hobbit Tuesday night snack night thing, there's an apple pudding recipe in there. So check that out if you love apples. Toasted apples then. Thank you, Hero. I'm going to eat mine right now. Good night, Ryan. Hero, are you heading to bed now too? I'm still chewing my apple piece. Yep, that tasted good. There is a third viewer here. Welcome, viewer. I'm not sure who you are. Possibly Dark Alice, possibly Tishy Adams. Usually would be someone who would come in. You're going to stay up a bit longer? Did you want to chat about anything else before we go tonight? Hero, do you speak other languages? Like, do you speak French at all? Because you're going to start seeing videos pop up that will make no sense at all. But I'm starting to use my avatar to make like listening tests for some students of mine who are doing French. Oh, I'm so sorry about all these race cars going around. They put speed bumps out there, and apparently the mayor's going to put money into putting up cameras to catch them. But they're doing it to spite, man. From the time the winter snow melts. They're so loud. It's the racers. I'm living in this area that you have to drive through if you're coming from the city of Toronto out into ski country, out into the beaches, or all north of me, all the fresh farms, just all north of me. And people like to take you'll get whole biker gangs with like hundreds of people, all with their coming through at the same time to get to the beaches. And there's certain days where people bring their gangs to the beaches or their hot rods. And right now it's like hot rod time, and they're going up there to have their I guess you call it tailgate parties or whatever. And they come through. And there are certain locals that just get a kick out of racing each other on these streets at night, which is never fun for the rest of us. That's why, even with my door closed, and I've got the freestanding walls I bought to bounce the acoustics off, you still hear them. They're that loud. They're like revving their engines on purpose. Yeah. I can hear them coming back. It's the same people all the time. Maybe. I just don't want to see accidents. Today, I was so sad because a young girl who was in a wheelchair almost got hit by a car that wasn't looking and was peeling out to make a right-hand turn onto the road. And she was so frightened she couldn't move. And they got out of the car to try to get her to move and make sure, like, at least she wasn't bumped over and she didn't fall. Because I have seen earlier in the summer this year one older lady that did fall over and she needed help getting her groceries back up and stuff. But traffic held up, and 10 minutes later they had gotten her back onto the sidewalk. She was too afraid to move at all. So I'm hoping that the people that were with her were people that she knew. And I don't know, that didn't feel so good. But the cars are always in a rush around here, and it's kind of unfortunate. I hate to see accidents happen. So this next week coming up, since I've got you here, I am going to be pretty busy with work stuff. So just to let you know, on the Monday, our union so this is my first possible job. Yeah, she was. I think she wasn't knocked over, but she was rightly frightened. But at least she had people with her, so that was something. Yeah. And I haven't seen her around before, so I don't know where she was from. But yeah. I'm going to be on the Monday night after work. They're making us actually drive to a different town, which is an hour away, which isn't fair. A lot of people trying to get out of it because they want all of their union members to vote. So they're putting us all in a casino, offering us a sandwich and a drink, like probably a juice box. There'd be over 3,000 people going to this thing because it's the only place big enough to hold everybody. So I decided to find out if I could get a discount, and I got myself a discount on a room. But I don't think I'll be able to send any, like, to be online or anything. So I'm just going to take it as I'm going to drive from there back to work the next morning rather than driving in the middle of the night on roads that I don't know, because it's further north, so in the middle of nature stuff. And then that night I'm going straight from work to the school I worked at last year because I was invited to their official grand opening, which they didn't have one last year, so they invited me back for that. I'm going to go. I want a free cupcake. I want to say hi to some people. I want to thank the man that was my reference, so that'll be great. And then coming back the next night, on Wednesday, is going to be Meet the Parents night, like a meet and greet with the staff. And so since I'm new, I need to be there. And then the next night after that, gamer night. So it's going to be super busy. Yeah, it'll be busy. And so I'm doing I've actually made myself a giant list on my wall of all the things I have to do to make sure that I'm ready to go. It's going to be like an adventure, travel adventure. By the time you get me to Dragonflight next week, I'll be tired. Maybe I'll come up with some new ideas for shows, New scenery, change of stuff to do. It's good not to be bored. Well, it's been a bit since, I think it's always with you when I end up staying on a little longer than I mean to. I wish you all the best as well. Yeah, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to log out because it's been 2 hours and almost 20 minutes. I'm going to try to get some sleep. I'm really happy that you spent the evening with me. It was really nice to chat. And I hope I help make you feel a little better too. With all my rambling. Even though my avatar refuses to move. I'm like shaking my head and laughing and smiling, and she's just looking like she's dead bored. It was. And so if you like apples, there's an apple pudding recipe. Just check out my last Tuesday night's Riddle Me Din Din. And this Tuesday coming up is going to be snack night, so I flipped the two. So it will be pre-recorded, but it's going to be in Italy. 3 Italian snacks. And you might like them. You might like one of them. So if you're bored, come on out and listen. Have a listen. It will launch at 8 p.m. on Tuesday. And then I'll be back live on... Well, I'll be live on Sunday, and I'll be live on Thursday after that. Then I'll have more stories to tell, which is always good. Toast to the apples. Here's mine. I've gotten 2/3 of the way around it. It's one big apple. It's like as big as my fist. Honeycrisp. They smell and taste awesome. Oh, it's been a year since I've been eating apples. I've been eating apples all month. Because of the 2 years before that, I was eating apples all the time. And I took a break from it. But I'm losing weight again, so I think it has to do with the apples. Eating apples instead of other stuff. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I made the change. Change back to apples. Alright. I know Ryan's gone. And whoever our mystery viewers were, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Hero Flame, I wish you a very happy weekend. And I'll be back at some point. I'll pop in and out. And I'm going to be thinking of new shows. I'll be producing new shows this weekend, so new stuff will be coming out for next week to keep you entertained. I hope you're entertained, as always. Goodbye, Hero. And I'm sending you hugs virtually. Hug, hug, hug. Through the internet. I can't do much with her. She's dancing. She's shimmering for you. I'm shimmering for you. There we go. The rose is for you. We'll just say that. Have a great night, Hero Flame. This is Venus Callida. And after 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 22 seconds, I'm signing off. This is Tucking In Chill, Friday night. I will see you all live on Sunday for Dragonflight Follies. I'll see you then. Until then, take care and have fun. Hugs to you, Hero. Thank you for being here.